Hey guys, welcome to Two Guys and a Mouse, the show that gives you all the Disney news, tips, and tricks to get you the most out of your Disney vacation. I'm Lance and we're here with Les, and today we're going to talk about what is the Disney Vacation Club, or DVC, and is it right for you?
All right, so let's jump into it. What is Disney Vacation Club, or more commonly referred to as DVC? So DVC is essentially Disney's timeshare-based membership that allows you to buy into the membership and allows you to stay at a myriad of resorts at the Disney properties throughout the United States. So obviously at Walt Disney World in Florida, Disneyland in California, there's a resort in South Carolina, and then there's also a resort in Hawaii that you can stay at. It was established back in 1991, and it basically took off from there. It was started with one resort and grew into what it is today. On top of that, your membership will allow you to turn in your vacation points that you would buy and redeem them with a company that Disney partners with called Interval International. They used to work with a timeshare company called RCI, but they switched it a few years ago to Interval International, and you can redeem your points to get basically a cash value that would allow you to stay at other properties throughout the world. And at the time that I bought into DVC, I think they were advertising was more than 4,000 locations throughout the world that you could use your DVC membership and if you didn't want to take a vacation on Disney properties. So,
yep. So how does the DVC work? So let's dive into it, right? The Disney Vacation Club operates on a point-based system. So what that means is when you buy in, you buy a certain amount of points that are allocated to you per year, right? The number of points needed to stay depends on factors like the resort, the room type, time of year, and the length of stay. And when you have your points, it's based on what's called a use year. So each member has a use year, which is the month when their points are allocated for the upcoming year. So my use year is August. Les, your use year is?
Mine is June.
June. So understanding use year is crucial for planning vacations and booking accommodations. You also have booking windows. So DVC offers different booking windows, including home resort priority and 7-month booking windows. So let's get into the home resort priority. Home resort priority allows you to book your home resort at 11 months before your trip, okay? The 7-month booking window allows the DVC members to book at any of the other resorts that are not their home resort at 7 months out. So basically the home resort is where you bought into when you purchased your DVC points. So I'm going to turn it over to Les. He's going to go over some tips and tricks for using those DVC points and getting the most out of your DVC membership.
Sure. So for new members or those who are just learning about DVC or thinking about buying into DVC, here's a few helpful tips that we can give to you today. So plan ahead. You need to utilize the booking window to secure accommodations during times that work for you, and maybe you want to go during peak times, so you have to kind of figure out what resort or what times of the year would work best for you. Flexibility. Based on what I just said, you may need to be flexible. If you want to go during the summertime, say when a lot of other families want to go because their children are not in school, that's a peak time. Around Thanksgiving holiday and the week of Christmas, those are peak times because typically kids are not in school and families are willing to take vacations. So you may have to be flexible on the resort that you want to go to or the time of year that you want to go. But DVC allows you to do that. So banking and borrowing points. So when you buy into DVC, you will have to tell them how many points you want to buy. Those points allow you to stay at, again, the various rooms in the various resorts, and you can pick and choose. If you want to stay at one resort for the entire length of your stay, you can do what they call a split stay. You can actually stay at one resort for a few days and then jump to another one, maybe just to get a better experience. Taking advantage of member services for assistance with reservations. vacation planning, and more. There's an 800 number and a website that you go to that only members can get into. They will help you with everything you want to do, whether that's planning an entire vacation, helping you make a reservation on a room, after hours events, assistance with buying annual passes if you're a DVC member, all those different types of things. They have a dedicated member services team that you can take advantage of, and I highly recommend that you do.
Speaking of member services, you also get a dedicated vacation guide that's assigned to you, your family, for just that purpose. They're going to help you with planning your vacation, using your points. Among other things, they're going to tell you on any special offers coming if you do want to expand your current DVC membership and add points, or just get another contract at another resort. So that is your Disney vacation guide that's assigned to you. So, but also keep your eye out for special offers and promotions, because again, your DVC guide will tell you about those. But you can also find those on the Disney Vacation Club website, as well as the emails that get sent to your family from time to time. They'll also send you some paper mail as well. So understanding these aspects of the DVC operation can help you plan unforgettable vacations and make the most out of your membership. So let's dive a little bit deeper into what being a DVC member entails. So, the pros and cons of a DVC membership. Some of the pros: you get access to DVC resorts and the DVC amenities throughout the park. There are several DVC lounges that are scattered across Walt Disney World, one being at the top of the Journey to Imagination Pavilion in Epcot. Another DVC lounge is on top of the Bay Lake Tower at the Contemporary Resort in the Magic Kingdom area. So you also have the ability to book at any of the DVC resorts that are available at Walt Disney World, and also any of the DVC resorts that are available nationwide and worldwide, actually. So you do get access to Aulani, which is in Hawaii. You get access to the Vero Beach Resort, which is in Florida, and you also get access to the Hilton Head Island Resort, which is in Hilton Head, South Carolina. Thank you, South Carolina. I almost said North Carolina, but so. But the DVC does offer a wide range of accommodations, ranging from deluxe studios to 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and even 3-bedroom grand villas. So this variety ensures that members can find accommodations that suit their family size and preferences, whether it's a cozy retreat or a spacious villa, right? So Les, you want to talk about some of the flexibility options with planning a DVC vacation?
Sure. Before I jump into that, and just if this interests you or you're already a member and you want to stay at one of the DVC resorts, if you book a studio, depending on what resort you're staying at, a studio could mean it's a 4-person room, and in other locations like the Polynesian, it can actually sleep 5. So you just have to keep that in mind. And the information online will explain all of that. It'll be clearly laid out so that you can pick the right room that meets your needs. So as far as flexibility in vacation planning, again, DVC's system is a point-based system, allowing members to plan their vacations flexibly. So you can choose when and where you want to stay and how to travel, how long to stay, the type of accommodation that you prefer. And this is particularly beneficial for families who have changing vacation needs. So maybe when you first start out in DVC, you have young children, and because you're in DVC for a long period of time, if you choose to keep your contract for the length of what you sign up for, right, your children will grow up. Maybe it's just the 2 of you that are vacationing now, but now you have grandchildren down the road. So it gives you the flexibility to be able to choose maybe a bigger room initially, go to a smaller room because it's only a couple of you traveling, and then go back to 1, 2, or 3 room villa because now you're bringing the whole family. So it's fantastic in that capability. Special events and discounts. Members enjoy access to special events and discounts, including savings on dining when you're eating. Does not include discounts on alcohol, but the food it does. Merchandise and select experiences within the parks and the resorts. And then the perks add value to each vacation, enhancing your overall Disney experience. I'll actually be participating in an event called Moonlight Magic next month when I attend. It's a DVC only event that will actually be held at Animal Kingdom Park this time. They have it several times a year. They rotate it throughout the parks, so it's not always in the same place every year. So they basically will close the park down for everybody who's there. That's not DVC, and then the park will remain open for an additional 4 hours for just DVC members, and there'll be things like free drinks and snacks that you can have that normally would not be out. They may have additional characters throughout the park that would not normally be there, or you don't see that often. There'll be special entertainment, so just different things, and that's all geared towards the DVC member. Not everybody gets to participate in that. There's a reservation system that you have to basically go into when they open it up, and if you're lucky, you'll get a ticket. And this particular event is no cost, which is great, because if you've been to Disney, you know that nothing is free. So the ability to take my family of 4 that's going on this trip and go to Animal Kingdom for an additional 4 hours at no cost is great. So
while all of these perks sound really great, there are a couple of cons that you may need to consider, or just some additional things to consider when looking at purchasing a DVC membership. One of the biggest things is the initial investment. So purchasing DVC points requires a rather sizable initial investment, which may be significant for some families. However, many members view this as a long-term investment in quality vacations, so it's just something to look at. Another thing that you want to also take into consideration is annual dues, right? So every year you have to pay your annual dues to DVC, and these dues basically cover costs of maintenance, operating costs, and refurbishment of the DVC resorts, and it keeps them looking nice. You have to look at vacation planning, and I don't know about other people, but I know Les and I, we're planners, and we plan ahead of time. So having a DVC membership does require you to plan out ahead. DVC members usually plan their vacations at the 11-month mark. Certainly most do it before right about the 7-month mark, but I'd say a lot of them will plan at the 11-month mark, book their home resort, and then we'll just flip it to another resort that you want to stay at the 7-month mark. So while this does offer flexibility, it does require you to be proactive in your vacation planning. And I'll turn it over to Les to talk about some of the cons that might be present when buying DVC, and not necessarily from Disney, but you do have the ability to buy third party at a significant cost savings. But there are a couple of things to consider when looking at that. So
why would you buy third party? Typically, the main reason for anyone to buy not directly from Disney is the cost involved, like Lance was saying. So when you buy direct from Disney, they are setting the price. There is no negotiation in that. You pick the resort and the amount of points that you want to buy. Disney's going to tell you what the price per point is. That's how you calculate the total amount of what you're going to owe Disney, and that's what it costs. There is no negotiation. They may do sales, but pretty much it is what it is. Whereas going third party is maybe I no longer have an interest in DVC and I don't plan on using my membership anymore, and now I want to sell it and get some or maybe even all of my money back. So I would go through a third party reseller, and then somebody such as yourself may be trying to get into DVC at a discounted rate. That's the way that you would do it. So it's essential that for anybody who's thinking about getting into DVC, and when you're making that initial investment, you don't want to go direct through Disney, you're going to go through third party. They may seem like a cost-effective option, but there are some risks involved, such as limited resort availability. Third-party resale memberships may have restrictions on the resorts that you can book, especially during peak seasons or popular travel dates, like I said, Thanksgiving or Christmas or two. This can impact your ability to book your desired accommodations. So certain resorts, and especially the newer ones as they build them, they're actually preventing users who buy third-party resale from using your points. I think Riviera is one. If you have a third-party a DVC contract, you did not buy direct from Disney, you can't use those points at Riviera and some of the other resorts. You also can't use those points for Disney Cruise Line vacations.
Right.
As Lance and I have bought direct through Disney, we can actually give our points back to Disney and say we want to put them towards a cruise. If you buy a third party, you can't do that. Lack of member benefits. What does that mean? Resale memberships may not include all the benefits and perks offered to direct DVC members, such as access to certain events, discounts,
Annual passes,
or annual passes, or promotional offers. Again, we probably both frequently get postcards in the mail from Disney saying, "Hey, we're having a sale if you buy at whatever." I'm just going to pick a Boulder Ridge or something. Or now that they've redone the cabins at Fort Wilderness, they're pushing that. So I got a postcard in the mail saying, "Hey, we're having a sale on points at Fort Wilderness Lodge for a limited time. Buy." So you can't take advantage of certain things like that. So it's important to understand the differences between buying direct and buying resale, what benefits you'll keep and what benefits you're going to lose. Potential scams or fraud. So if you're not buying from a reputable or known third-party reseller, you may run into some problems. So it's crucial to seek out or look for videos or just do research online, figure out who those reputable parties are. There's Facebook groups, there's tons of content creators that cover nothing but Disney that will talk about who the reputable resellers are. Yeah. So you just have to protect yourself if you're actually thinking about jumping into DVC.
Yep, and the last thing to add to that as far as buying third party, and it's not necessarily a scam because you could purchase from a reputable reseller, but then get stuck with having a DVC membership that you can't use. And what I mean by that is with a DVC membership, you do have the ability to bank and borrow points. And while you could buy from a legitimate source, it's possible that you buy a contract that has used up the points from the past year, the current year, and the next use year. So let's say, for example, that I'm buying in June and my use year is in August, and I bought an August use year that the points have already been used. I will not be able to book a vacation until the following 2 years from that, if the points have been borrowed from the previous year. So just keep that in mind when you are shopping third party, and know whether the points have been allocated for the year and if they've been used or not. So.
And if you're buying from a reputable third party reseller, they will tell you that will be clearly written in the documentation for that particular contract that you're looking at, whether there's points available or not. So you just have to keep that in mind.
Correct. Yep. So some things to consider before diving into the purchase of a DVC membership. So it's important to consider a couple of key factors, right? So one of the things to consider is vacation frequency. Think about how often you visit Disney World and other Disney destinations, or how often you plan on going to Disney throughout the year. I know personally I go at least twice a year with my membership. Less, you go 2-3 times a year with your membership. So consider that. Consider if you want to go more frequently or you want to stay longer, right? Consider the size of your family and your travel preferences. DVC offers a wide range of villa sizes and amenities, making it suitable for families of various sizes and preferences for space and comfort.
All right, so let me add on to what Lance just said to talk about whether it's going to work for you if you want to buy in. The way that the salesperson explained it to my wife and I way back in 2015, when we went to the sales area and we did room tours and learned everything about it and had to make that decision whether we wanted to do it or not. His fastest way of explaining it and getting us to think about whether to buy or not was, how often do we plan on going on vacation at Disney? If we're going to go once every 5 years, once every 10 years, it doesn't make sense. There's no value in doing that. You'd be essentially throwing your money away. We had to honestly ask ourselves, how frequently do we plan on going? And at the time of that decision, we said we envision going maybe every other year. He wrote it all down on paper, basically explained, you know, inflation and the cost of rooms going up year after year after year, which they do if you pay cash, compared to the cost of DVC, which is relatively a static line. It does go up a little bit because dues get raised every year, but your investment will be there for the long term. So if I'm going to go very frequently, which I do, and DVC enables me to do that, or allows me to do that is a better word, not enables, but allows, it made sense to buy into DVC. So that's why we did it, just because we wanted to go very frequently. And if I were paying cash for rooms, the cost over time would just be way more significant if I was paying cash than being a DVC member. So yeah, definitely lots of things to consider when deciding whether a DVC membership is right for you and your family. So if you have any questions or would like more information, please put it in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you guys. Also, if you are DVC members and would like to share some of your experiences, you know, please put those in the comments as well.
So we went through this really fast. There's obviously a lot more material and information related to DVC. We just wanted to give a high-level overview of what it is, how it works for us, and what it can mean for you. So again, if you are really interested in DVC, there's tons of material, including DVC's own site, that'll give you a lot of the information that you're going to need and answer some of the questions you may have.
Yep. So guys, we appreciate you coming to hang out with us today. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing and turning notifications on so that you know whenever we release new content. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.
See ya.